Welcome to the Golden Road Podcast.
I'm Matt.
And I'm Grace.
We met at a wedding,
Walked across America,
renovated a school bus,
and now we're spending the winter in Delaware before our next big walk.
we're glad to have you here.
Let's get spicy.
Hello and welcome back to episode 7 of the Golden Road Podcast.
We are back to talk about our walk across America. This time we're talking about once we've left Phoenix, going into our first and only mountain stretch.
If you haven't already, make sure you get caught up on episodes 1 through 6. That'll get you caught all the way back up to where we are now. We're leaving Phoenix. We
Yes.
spent some time with your friend.
Yeah, Noelle took us back to where she had. So our rule was that anytime if someone were to pick us up, then they had to drop us off exactly where they picked us up. Like sometimes later on people would say, oh, well, I can take you to this spot so you don't have to go through this. And it's like, no, if you picked us up, you drop us off exactly where you picked us up. So we got dropped off back at the REI, and then we had to make our way through Scottsdale.
Yeah, and Scottsdale was weird because there were some really nice biking paths, but there was also a stretch, and the stretch was only maybe a quarter of a mile.
Yeah, it's uphill.
Uphill, 3 lanes, no
shoulder.
and everyone was super pissed off at us. I mean, that was probably the stretch with the most mean mugs that we have ever had.
Yeah, people were glaring at us. And then we got up to the top of the hill, and we had to book it across the way because we had to go over to the grocery store.
Uh-huh.
And then we went in there.
Was that a Smith's?
I don't remember.
Doesn't matter.
I don't know. Stocked up on our groceries, and then we kept going. We, of course, classic. First we ate at Red Robin's. Then
Weren't some people giving you some mean looks in that grocery store?
Oh yeah, that whole area was just like
and
a
you
weird
were and
vibe.
you had you had that aurora about you. You just had that new ring on.
Yeah,
and
I was like, why are you guys looking at me like that?
People were like, what's this girl with the big diamond on her ring with a green vest walking through our store?
I do think that confused people because especially people like that, and I don't want to say like everybody's like that, but a big majority, like they're looking at what are you wearing, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so then I think it was confusing because I'm wearing Lululemon leggings and I've got my ring, but then I kind of also look homeless, like. And people don't know how to accept that almost, I feel like.
Well, it's a brand new site as well. They're like, what am I looking at? They don't even know what to think.
Yeah, so that was kind of a weird vibe for me. I would be interested to go back and do that again, though, with how I am as a person now, because I don't really care about stuff like that. Like, would I think about it differently, or would I still feel the same way? I don't know. Regardless, we did that then right before, so we kept walking, and before we were going to take a left to get onto, like, the big stretch busy highway to walk up towards the Tonto National Forest, we stopped at the gas station and we stopped and went to McDonald's and we got chicken nuggets.
Yeah, and again, looking back through all of our Instagram stories, and again, if you want to follow along with our whole story, check out our Instagram. We have all of our stories saved.
Yeah.
Our eating habits were absolutely horrendous, and this is not even a month into our trip at this point.
I'm honestly surprised. Like, that just goes to show how much we were just waking up and just going, because how we are now, we feel so gross when we eat something bad and we don't even eat anything to that extent anymore.
No.
But when we eat something like if we drink a soda or something, it makes such a big difference. So knowing how we were eating constantly,
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Regardless, we got fueled up on some chicken nuggets, on some fries. We
we didn't even eat them yet because we were saving them because we thought we were going to be able to find a campsite, and we just kept walking, and they were getting cold.
That's right.
Bummer.
Right. Yeah, that was a bummer.
And because there was some event going on at that casino too, remember?
Yeah, and I also remember beforehand we had a ton of people like, "Hey, be really careful with the reservations." Like
people made it sound like we were literally gonna get shot if we walked.
And like looking back at it, I wouldn't be concerned at all.
No.
I mean, I'm sure there's spots that you don't want to be,
Yeah.
but for the most part. I mean, we were scared. Like, we were walking through this reservation spot past the casino. Like, we can't camp here. We have to make sure we get past it.
Yeah.
But it's really not that big of a deal.
So we kept going and walking on the highway. Everyone was going and turning into the casino because there was some sort of event. And we kept going. It was starting to get dark, so we're like, because we didn't really like walking at dark, especially on the highway.
You know what else I remember, too?
What?
I feel like anytime we walked by a hotel or, like, there was an event or something going on, we'd always, like, have a conversation of, if someone were to stop and offer us a room and dogs are allowed, would we take it? Yes.
We're like, let's just be on the same page here. But we kept going. We figured, no way dogs. We're probably lifted
Yeah.
up. No way
Yeah.
dogs were allowed. We kept walking, and then, because it was Halloween night.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And so we knew we wanted to get off the road also because there were probably going to be people who were driving drunk. We got to the Tonto National Forest sign. We took a picture.
Yeah, and it was pretty, I mean, it was cool. Because we weren't expecting to go this route anyways either. We were expecting to go down through Texas. So now we get to go up through the mountains. We're going towards Route 66, which is super cool. We weren't going to do that either.
And it's different from after walking through the desert for the last...
yeah. You start to see, I mean, that was still kind of desert.
Yeah.
I mean, it was desert. But we knew we were working our way up in elevation. We'd be in the mountains soon. We found a camp spot. Ate some ramen. Ate our nuggets. I remember it being a nice sunset, and also was the moon really? It was glowing that night. It was like
the full moon or something. Yeah, it was a really nice spot. And then we woke up the next morning and we started going, and then we just started our stretch of going up like the long hills and stuff, and it was super windy, but it was really cool because this was, I mean, like, there were other parts that were really pretty, but looking back, this is the prettiest spot for me walking through.
Yeah, me too. I really liked that spot. It was the first time, I mean, not the first time we'd seen cactus, but it was all these hills you're climbing up, and there's all these cactus with cool kind of cliff mountains on the side.
Not just any cactus, giant.
Yeah. And, I mean, walking that, we were on hills, but it was easy because we were enjoying the scenery so much.
And there was a pretty big shoulder, actually.
Yeah. And so I don't remember anything really memorable other than just enjoying our walking time.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
We came to, we always use OnX.
Yeah.
To kind of find our camping spots. So we saw there was like an ATV area coming up, and we're like, hey, that'd work out pretty well. So we got off. There was a few people walking around. We weren't super concerned. And we set up our tent, and we're looking at our water situation, and we have...
And food situation.
Yeah, we have a quarter of a gallon and then a whole gallon. This has to make us through till the next afternoon, though.
And we use our water. We were using our water to cook our food.
Yeah, and we hadn't been drinking enough water. We're roasting out there in the desert, and we were very lethargic. It was almost kind of like dizzy, just trying to make it through the heat of the day. Foxy's laying there, passed out on the ground.
Yeah, and we were in like this little wash area, which only would have mattered if it rained or whatever, and it didn't rain. But then we had set up the tent like up on a little kind of, it was a wash, but then there was kind of a little slope in the middle, and we set up our tent there. And then we also had this like pop-up thing that we put Foxy in, but she wasn't really wanting to be in it, so we were like, okay, whatever, you know, it's just this, like, there's nothing going on, you know. We always paying attention to birds and stuff. And Foxy was playing, and all of a sudden...
You were throwing the ball. Did she have the ball at that time?
Yeah. We were throwing her ball, and she went to go get it, and she was coming back in this giant... What was it?
It was an owl, I think. It was massive. I mean, probably its wingspan was, I mean, bigger than this. Probably over to the table there.
What?
I said four.
That sounds like a mystical creature.
Well, think how big owls wing. Look, think about the ospreys and stuff. How big their wingspans are.
From there to the table, you think they're that big?
I mean, that's like 5 feet. Probably.
Wow.
Maybe a little less. It was a big bird. It was going to pick Foxy up.
So we're like, oh my gosh. At that point, we packed
That was a very close
up.
call. That's not like some... I mean, that's a moment where we just paused like, oh, wow. And I had some sort of instinct because I remember hearing something, and then I got up, and as I got up, the bird was coming down, and it took off, remember?
Yeah, and that's the closest Foxy's ever been to a big bird. And so then we're like, all right, we're packing up, everybody get in the tent. So we packed everything up, we're laying in the tent, and then had we fallen asleep before we heard the piggies?
Yeah, we fell asleep.
So
and remember, it was full moon, it was still the bright moon.
Yeah, so we could see everything around us. Oh, I actually like camping with the full moon because when you wake up, it's like the lights are on.
Yeah.
But we woke up because we heard this rustling, and all of a sudden Matt's like, oh my gosh, and you just see these things like bouncing around, sprinting by.
It was just one at first.
And then another chased it, right?
Yeah.
And we saw them bouncing around, so we're like, haha, piggies, you know? And then the next morning we woke up and we're recording on our stories. We're like, we saw some piggies, blah, blah, blah. And we get a whole influx of messages like, those are not piggies. Those are javelinas. Those will eat you, blah, 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 blah.
Now, I want to say this. if you were to come across a pack of like 10 to 15, okay, yeah, you're not going to want to mess around with them. Are they going to start eating your leg right away? No, probably not. They'll probably knock you
Who
to the
knows?
ground. Yeah, I don't
Maybe
know.
they go straight for the calf.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. People were very concerned about it.
Yeah.
And apparently they're most active with the moonlight, so it was a full moon, so those guys were all out there everywhere, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
they're having a blast.
The next morning we woke up and our goal was to make it. We had to make it up Little Hill stretch, and then Grace's friend Noelle, who we had just hung out with in Phoenix, was gonna bring us some water because there was no way we were gonna have enough water.
Well, and there was another reason we had already talked about her meeting with us because was something getting shipped to her that she was gonna bring us, or she was gonna bring us a food supply or something, or was it the water?
We had food.
But
she did bring us some more food. Water was the biggest thing, and I think we said, hey, if you want to bring us some extra food, you can.
Like, because we had talked to her, and she said, yeah, she'd be willing to help us out,
Yeah.
so that was huge. But we ended up having, okay, yeah, so she was going to bring us water already, but we had even less water than we planned on having before her meeting with us.
Yeah.
So then that whole day, we're like, okay, we're going to make it through. We're like, Noelle, please bring us cold beverages. And then the next thing, Noelle, please stop at Jimmy John's. We'll buy you food.
And please get us some amino energies.
We're like, we'll buy you whatever you want. Just please bring us these snacks. And so we kept walking and that day, but I feel like we were like kind of motivated by the fact that she was going to be bringing us stuff.
Also, it was a really nice sunrise. I mean, the weather it was warmer, but it wasn't that warm.
No, and the walk
shoulder
was
nice.
But the headwinds were horrible.
Horrible headwinds. We probably had to walk 3-4 miles uphill with these just heavy headwinds.
Headwinds are the worst, I've decided.
We made it over the headwinds in the mountain though, and then we're walking. We probably had a couple more miles to our rendezvous point with Noelle.
Yeah.
And we found some more water. We found like basically a full Smart Water bottle, which
Life
we're like,
water.
yeah, we're like, heck yeah, because we hadn't eaten anything because we don't have any water to cook anything.
Yeah.
And so we were able to make some lunch, which that was nice because we waited for an hour or so for Noelle.
Yeah, so we figured the water we found, though, we weren't going to drink it, but if we boiled it, it would probably be fine. And
yeah.
Here we are today to tell the story.
Yeah.
And we were sitting there eating stuff, and we had like set up our chairs, and we were just hanging out because we were there for like 2 hours probably.
Yeah.
Waiting, and we did we? I don't think we had service either. We like sent Noelle a ping or something somehow, but like we didn't really have good service. I don't think.
I don't remember.
Anyway, these people drive by and they look at us and they were like, "Make sure you pack out your food," or how'd they say?
They were super rude. It wasn't a nice way of saying it at all. It's almost like this lady tried to, but she just couldn't do it. And she's like, "You guys aren't going to be leaving any trash around, are you?" And we're like, "No."
Okay.
What vibe are you getting?
I'm like, "No, pack it in, pack it out." But we're walking. Would you be willing to take some of our trash? That's what I should have said.
Noelle took some trash for us.
Yeah, she did. Yeah.
We said bye, and then our next spot we were trying to make it to, I don't know if we really knew, but we got to the top of this hill by the afternoon. That was one of my favorite camping spots. It overlooked all the mountains, like this big canyon.
It was really pretty, and it was kind of like there was a road you could go down a little bit, but it didn't seem like there were people who had driven down that road who were camping.
It was Forest Service land or something.
Yeah, so we felt good about it. But then, so we were hanging out there and stuff. We're in the tent. Then all of a sudden, this happened. Did two cars pulled up? Yeah, one car pulled up, and it was this group of people, like probably 19, 20. And the one guy is like, hold on. The other guy comes out. He's smoking his bowl or something outside the tent. But we're just laying, like they cannot see us. Like no one's acknowledging that we're there. So we're just laying there waiting for it to end. And then they leave. And then this other guy comes. He's listening to his audiobook. It's so loud. And he came like right when I had unzipped the tent because I had to pee. And then all of a sudden he came out and he's standing there and he's peeing. But if I move and zip up the tent, he's going to hear me. So I didn't want to freak him out. So then I was just sitting there like trying not to look while this guy's peeing. And then he left. But nobody could see us at all.
No, it was actually a really good spot.
Yeah. Until I was like, what if a car turns and like comes driving down this and they just hit our tent? But you would see it if you turned because of your headlights. But I did think that way. Oh, and we had a backpacker's pantry lasagna. So good and creamy.
That was very good.
Really good.
That was like the best one we've ever had.
Yeah.
That and the rice one. And we had the rice one the day before, that day too.
Yeah.
That was like a double whammy good meal sesh.
Yeah, because what we stocked up at it. We got some at REI, some good meals.
The next morning, again, this whole stretch is just awesome because you're walking through these mountains, you're working your way up in elevation, it's getting cooler.
It's easy to camp.
We finally see some trees. It's the first trees we've seen our whole walk, which was really cool. I mean, we got pretty jacked.
27 days.
And, yep, nice.
Thanks.
Yeah, this is day 27. And we're like going downhill for majority of the first section of the day. So we're going downhill. There's not any traffic. We're just enjoying the sunrise. And we stop. We get something to eat. We decide that we want to try to make it to Rye, which we thought Rye was a town. It's really not. It's kind of a ghost town. I mean, there's a small little market spot, and there's probably some businesses, but there's no. I don't even know if there's a post office there.
But we had heard, I don't know if someone had messaged us or what, but we found out there was a rumor that there was pie.
Someone who had walked or something before.
Okay, yeah.
Someone had walked this stretch as well in our Facebook group and said, hey, make sure you check out this spot. Maybe that was it. I'm pretty sure someone did. It doesn't matter.
So we were jacked. We're waving at every single car passing us. Like, we are these two goons who are having the time of our life walking down the path.
I'm pretty sure we were popping like 3 fizz sticks a day at this point, too.
So
we're wired at all times.
And then we get to the place, and it's like a little kind of
it's like a mercantile shop.
Yeah, it was a mix of like antique type things, random grocery store type things, and then they had a little like restaurant. So I got a quesadilla. Matt got a meatball sandwich.
Oh, that was good.
And then we got pie with ice cream. And we got sodas.
Yeah.
It was
so good.
Though.
We don't eat like that anymore.
No, we don't.
And we were kind of asking around, hey, is there a good spot to camp? And everyone's like, I mean, there's nothing really going on. We walked right down the road. There was a ton of stuff. It was like another UTV area, but it wasn't active whatever day it was. And so we set up our tent. It was like our first rain we had dealt with, and I don't even remember it raining that much. Maybe rained for 5 minutes.
And then it was the most beautiful sunset ever.
That was really nice. That whole stretch, that is one of my favorite stretches, is walking up through there.
Yeah, every sunrise and sunset was really good.
Now, the next morning we woke up, and we had found a construction flag on the side of the road, one of those orange ones you wave around, and we had heard that's right, someone did walk this, because remember someone's like, hey, you're going to deal with, it wasn't as long as they said, but they said you're going to deal with a quarter-mile stretch of no shoulder that you're just going to have to bust it up. It was probably 300 yards, maybe an eighth of a mile or so. And so we had our construction flag, and we're trying to make it to Payson, which is only like 12 miles away. And did someone flip us off there too?
Yeah.
Someone got mad there.
Yeah. Because Matt was like, all right, get ready. And I had the flag, and we just sprinted. And I just ran ahead waving the flag to give like a little bit of warning that there was going to be someone bigger behind me, so that they were kind of aware. And we just booked it. Now,
one thing we did well is when we knew these stretches were coming up is we'd start early in the morning. So that way, and honestly, I think it was like was that day a Sunday? So you have to leave really early in the morning to get to that spot. But as long as you're up there before 8 a.m., which we were, maybe there's some cars to deal with, but not nearly as much. I mean, if we waited till 10, 11 a.m., that's a different story.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that far. It was 300 yards. We sprinted it out. We felt good. And then, I mean, it's just beautiful. That was quite a bit of elevation gain. Now we're really in the trees. There's trees all around.
Yeah.
And we're making our way to Payson.
We were just walking our way down into it. We were excited because Payson is a bigger town, so we were gonna get food. We ended up going in. We went to that. Was it in Payson? We went to that little breakfast spot.
Yes, but let's talk about Motel 6.
Well, that was before Motel 6, yeah.
No, after we got to the hotel, we were trying to get situated, so I think we wanted to leave Foxy in the room so we could go and do it.
No, we took Foxy because we ate outside at the cafe. I feel like
did we go to that cafe twice?
Yeah, but it was we stopped there when we first walked in.
Yeah. Okay,
Which I'm
continue.
surprised we didn't have them in our stories. We must have just been so hungry.
There were some certain stretches where we didn't get everything.
Yeah. Anyway, we stopped. We ate at the cafe. We probably got biscuits and gravy and stuff.
I think we did. Yeah.
And then
no. We were on a thing where you were trying to get biscuits and gravy, and I was trying to get country fried steak.
Oh yeah.
And we were anytime we could get at one of these small diners, that's what we were doing.
That makes me want some biscuits and gravy so bad. Okay. Wow. Oh my gosh, I got distracted. That sounds so good right now. Okay. Then we had booked a hotel because we.
You know what I just thought about?
What?
What about if you use some of that plant boss to put it on make some biscuits and
I just feel like the plant boss doesn't have enough flavor, but you could use the Impossible beef, and I would definitely be interested in making that for you today.
Thank you. Okay. We used our Chase card. We had the Chase card at that point, right?
Yeah.
Which
we got it, but yeah, we got it before the walk.
Also, let's talk about Chase. I don't really like Chase.
We don't
terrible terrible customer service, and there's always something going on. But we do have their Chase travel card, which has really helped us.
The Sapphire Reserve.
Especially with hotels. So we booked Motel 6 through the Chase card. And we got to this place, and our neighbors next door were, like, counting money.
It was really sketchy. It was like some sort of weird drug deal.
And Payson, Arizona is not, like, a very sketchy place, so it was kind of interesting.
Yeah, and you could literally hear every single thing. I mean, like, I understand that there are times, for example, at the place that we live right now, we can hear everything above us, so they can probably hear us doing this podcast. And I understand there are times with that, and that's just something you have to get used to. But this is literally like you could hear them tapping fingers. I mean, they was paper thin walls, and we were taking the next day off, a 0 day, to get work done, and it was just not gonna
work. It was also dirty. Remember how dirty it was? It was like someone came in. I mean, I'm not a good cleaner. I could come in with a paper towel and clean it up better than it was. And Grace, who comes from a cleaning background family, is very particular. So when Grace is tired, on top of, we have to work on top of, she starts noticing things. It's just not a good situation.
Well, and for me, like, I don't want to say I've always stayed at nicer hotels, but, like, because my mom, like, comes from cleaning and stuff, she's the same. Like, if she looks around and sees it's disgusting. Like, hotels, even nice hotels, are gross already for the most part. Like, things don't get, like, you know what I mean? It can be dirty. And so I've stayed at, motels, but, like, this was really my first time staying at motels and stuff, and especially because Matt didn't want to, like, spend too much money, but at the same time, I'm like, we're making money, we sold all our stuff, like, this is stupid. And so I was feeling this weird, like, half of me wanting to be on Matt's side and understand that we're roughing it, and the other half of me being like, F no, this is so stupid.
Again, though, if you've listened to some of our past podcasts, I'm still going through my mindset shift.
You're way better now, though.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, it's 2 years from then.
Yeah.
But I'm still going through my mindset shift of, hey, it's okay to stay in a nice place. You don't have to rough it all the time.
And all it was $30 extra. And I understand, like,
I think it was 20.
Yeah, like, it wasn't a huge difference. And yeah, when you're penny pinching and stuff and really trying to save money, that $40 is a lot of money. But think about, like, are you going to be more satisfied? Are you going to have, like, at some point, you just kind of have to make those decisions.
So we get checked into this new hotel. Foxy was very excited, probably the most excited out of all of us.
I know. I was feeling kind of guilty because then you were, like, worried we weren't going to get our money back. But I was like, no, Chase is going to help us out.
And they have been good at that.
Yeah. This is also not sponsored, but if you find yourself wanting a Chase Reserve card, send us a message because we can give you an affiliate code and then we can all benefit from more points.
Well.
Yeah.
Anytime we're at one of these places, we're grabbing as much as we can. I think we ordered from this barbecue place next to us. I don't remember it being super memorable.
No, we ended up eating there the next day too, though, or another one.
We went back to the cafe.
But then we also ate at a place where we ate on the porch. Remember?
No.
Yeah, with Foxy, we sat on the porch.
I'm saying I don't remember.
I know, but we did.
The cafe was interesting because we went inside this time and we walked in with our masks because it's during COVID, and the lady said, you don't need to wear your mask in here, almost to say, take your mask off when you're in here.
And we were like, and that was something that was really interesting too, as we were going through all these different cities and, like, the different rules with COVID and stuff. It was, like, really fascinating looking back at it.
Really fascinating. I mean, even we're talking Payson was what, 80 miles from Phoenix?
Yeah.
And I mean, Phoenix is hardcore. Everyone's wearing their masks. You get to Payson, nobody cares.
Yeah. Well, we got our flu shots. We went to Walmart and got some, because it was starting to get cold, so we were looking for some warmer gear. We had ordered some stuff online, so we were kind of waiting for that to get in, because oh no, we shipped that somewhere, didn't we? Because we ordered, like, liners and stuff.
Yeah, those were shipped someplace, I think.
We had overnighted a little bag to carry Foxy to try and keep her warmer, and with, like, the roads on the side, something that had been kind of a pain was when she was riding on top of Timmy. It was stressful for Matt because he's already trying to maneuver Timmy, but then also Foxy could go flying off, so then I would be holding her, and it just, like, wasn't a good situation. So we got something so we could hold her.
Also dangerous.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Yeah.
And so we got something so we could hold her. And then we did our laundry and stuff. We're getting things. We got our flu shots.
You said that?
Oh, I know. For some reason, that really sticks out in my head as something we did. And then the next morning, the morning that we were about to leave and get on the road again, we went to the grocery store. And I can't remember her name. We said it in our Instagram stories, but we were talking to her, and she bought our breakfast.
Yeah.
She was working behind the bakery, so she bought us donuts
and some
burritos.
good burritos.
Yeah, really good. And then, I know, I love eating. And then we
don't eat like that anymore.
No, but I do like the idea of making some gluten-free. Maybe that could be our cooking video, some gluten-free biscuits and gravy, some plant-based.
That could be good.
Yeah, especially coming with the holidays. People love
good.
that. Okay, sorry.
We got that stuff. We got some more aminos. I mean, when we found those aminos in Corona, California,
changed our life.
Changed our life, yes, for the better. And this next day we're heading out, and it's really interesting, and I'm not sure where my mindset was. Not in the best spot, but we're expecting a snowstorm coming in, and here we are heading up the mountain even farther.
Matt's like, we must go.
Which looking back, I think we would have stayed in Payson.
I'll be really interested to see how this next walk across America is, because Matt has changed so much from that time, not only from, the beginning of that walk to the end of the walk versus our time in the bus versus our Colorado Trail versus now. So it'll be really interesting to see, both of us, how our mindsets are on this next walk.
Probably relaxed.
Yeah, maybe, but who knows? I mean, like, I'll just be very interested to see.
I still don't like staying at hotels. I do like
camping.
I do like camping. I do like, and even if it's not camping, like on this walk, we started later on, which we'll talk about in different podcasts, we started experiencing wineries and churches and all of that. I really enjoyed that experience more than hotels.
Well, and sometimes the hotels, like Matt would always joke about this and say, the hotels make us weak, but they actually, like, they're nice every now and again, but it actually does make it a little bit harder to continue or, like, be in the same mindset.
I don't think it makes it as valuable.
Yeah, it's just different.
Yeah, But anyways, we're expecting a snowstorm, but I'm like, hey, we got to make it up this mountain. We got to keep going. I'm still in that mindset. We got to keep progress. We've got momentum on social media, which is freaking stupid. And
we stopped.
Well, before we stopped, we had probably our hardest stretch of walking. It's 2-lane. There's no shoulder on either side. And
there's dead javelinas everywhere.
There's dead javelinas, and it's not just a shoulder. You're walking on the road here, and it goes like this to the side. So if there's two cars coming, I'm trying to pull the cart off to the side without it tipping, which it almost did a couple times.
Yeah, Matt literally almost flew down the side of the hill multiple times.
I was starting to get pissed because we could normally bust out 3 miles in 45 minutes to an hour. This took us an hour and a half, an hour and 45 minutes, and it's just like constant focusing. Is there a car back? Is there a car forward? How's Foxy? Is everyone okay?
People were being nice, though. Like, that wasn't a stretch where people were flipping us off. It was more so a stretch where people were looking at us like, what are you doing? This is a horrible stretch to be walking. And we were thinking, we know. We don't want to be here. So it was more of a common courage. Like, I feel like people... It wasn't. I didn't get any negative vibes from people in that sense. No, but it was hard. It was walking.
Dangerous.
And then we finally get good, and then we stop at a gas station, and Matt goes in to get water and stuff. We're getting ready to go, and there was a delivery truck guy.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this.
And he started talking to us, and he was like, "Hey, there's a really bad storm coming in," and he basically told us like the driving's not gonna be good. Yeah. Like, it's really not safe. And him telling us that put you in a different headspace of like, okay, we need to be a little bit smarter about this. So we were thinking, We looked and we saw there was a campground. And so we're like, let's just try to get there. If we can, be at this campground, we can stay there for a couple days. And we should have at that point thought, grab some more food if you're going to be stuck. But classic, we didn't. And so we just kept walking. And also during this, we got a phone call, and SoCo Outfitters had called. What we were talking to them, my dad had gone in, and we were getting warmer boots and warmer pants, and he was working on getting those for us as we were like, okay, we're about to be entering into winter. I forgot about that. And then we got to the spot where we thought we were gonna be.
I just got pants, and those are a long time gone. Those are some of my favorite pants ever.
Yeah, Matt is really sad about that. I feel like there's a whole box of stuff that went missing though.
Well, that's long gone.
Well, anyway, cool. If you're watching this, Matt needs more pants. Or mom, because they got lost in your house. Okay, we got to the campground. It was closed for winter. And it had said that you couldn't, like, camp or anything around there, but we were thinking, well, tough shit, sorry, pardon my language, but we're gonna have to camp here. But there were actually a bunch of people, like, driving in and hiking around that area, so we were kind of nervous.
We walked a little bit past. The campground was right off the little highway, so we felt concerned with camping right there because we'd easily be spotted.
Yeah.
So we walked down the road a little bit. There's like a fish hatchery. There's people hiking around. And so we found a spot that's a little bit off the road where we could set up the tent. Really nice spot, actually, right next to a stream. And we're just thinking, okay, we're going to have to stay here for like 3 days or till the snow's gone. We're looking at our food once again. Wow, not good. I mean, some ramen, we had some granola bars, we had some tuna, but not a lot of food.
We had like 4 meals. We had just enough for us to get to the next food place, not for us to take 2 days off. So we spent the night at that spot, and then we were like, okay, it had been raining and stuff, and it was only supposed to get worse, so we thought we either need to find a bridge to sleep under so we can at least stay dry, or let's see if because there was a ranch and like a lodge, and we wanted to see if they would even let us stay there, or what were the prices even, or at least they have a restaurant so we could get some more food. And so we walked down there, and we got into the restaurant, and we ate. We're still sitting there manifesting and stuff, hoping, but we'd also found a bridge that we were prepared to sleep under. And then
the bridge wasn't a terrible option, and I was really trying to convince us to do it.
Yeah.
But it was also really cold and really windy, and the thought, looking back, of us sitting down there for 2-3 days, that wouldn't have been great.
No, and so my mom was very worried about us, so she pretty much said, you're staying at the Coles Ranch Lodge.
Well, she got us a night.
She did? And we got the other night?
Yeah.
Okay, I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
So she got us a night, and that first night they only had one room available, which was like a family cabin, which was really nice.
Yeah.
And we got to Foxy was laying by the fire.
I forgot about that.
Like
yeah,
this
couch,
thing.
It had a full-on bathtub, jacuzzi.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Yeah. There was a little restaurant there. We went in, and I was thinking, if I'm going to be here, I'm going to live it up. So we ordered food. Matt was like, I don't want any wine. I was like, bring me the wine. And so then we got some wine. We were sitting there. It was snowing outside. Like, it was a very cozy atmosphere.
Yeah, it was nice. It was nice. Besides, I'm thinking about how much it was. $180 a night. So I'm like, okay, add on 2 nights, that's $360. Plus you go out to dinner, you add on 50, 60. You do that twice. Woo! Expensive couple days.
Yeah, but at that point, I was also making money.
Didn't matter.
I know, but I'm
Regardless.
just saying, nowadays, if that were to happen and I was making money, you would be like, no.
The other thing with my mindset is nowadays, if we were to do it again, I would enjoy it even more because I'd just be like, here's where we are.
Yeah.
Whereas then I'm trying to think of how to get out of it, but there's no way to get out of it.
That's true. And so then after that, we moved into a normal room, yeah. And then we were looking at our food and stuff, and we were like, okay, we don't really have that much, but we'll just go to the store or to the restaurant again. And Matt goes to the restaurant to pick out a menu so that we can like pick what we want and just have it back in our room. Restaurant's closed. So we're like, oh geez, that pretty much blew what we were planning to do. So instead we continued our horrible eating.
We spent Gosh, almost between $20 and $30. We ran this vending machine out. We got honey buns.
We ran out their honey
We
buns.
got we got Cheez-Its. We got Snickers, and that's what we ate all Monday long. And we also needed it for the next day too because we weren't gonna reach a store either.
Yeah, so we literally wanted to throw up. We felt so disgusting. We ate so bad.
The other thing that happened that sticks out to me at the lodge is we both had breakdowns.
I didn't have a breakdown.
You didn't?
I think my breakdown.
You did at some point
my
within the
breakdown
week.
was more so it was like I just felt like because of the way you were acting, I think.
Okay.
But you did have a breakdown.
I had a breakdown. And again, it was like relating to everything we were doing. It's like, yes, we're doing what we want to, but I also wanted that sense of purpose of helping time in a bottle. But, you know, again, we're not helping out with the people. We're helping raise awareness. And it was still a slow stretch for us with trying to raise donations. I've grown a lot in that aspect too, but I remember at that point I was just feeling, I think it was the whole thing of like we're spending money and on top of that, we're not gaining it. In my perceived mind, traction like we should be. We're losing momentum, and all those things combined made me just really sad.
Well, and you felt like every time we stayed at a hotel or something, any traction we did gain on social media went through the door when we stayed at hotels, when in hindsight that didn't really matter.
Yeah. But yeah, it didn't even snow that much at the end of the day.
No, we did build a little baby tiny snowman though.
Yeah, and I believe that is where we're going to stop this episode.
Yep.
Next episode, we're going to keep going. We're going to get to where we found Nemo at least. We're still making our way towards Route 66, but that'll be for episode 8 or 9.
Yeah, the next episode, we might take a break from Walk Across America stuff and talk about something different just to throw something in there.
If you guys are still listening at home or you're watching this video, please make sure to subscribe. Please make sure to like the video, share it with your friends. We also have a lot of other social media platforms.
Yes, if you'd like to follow along with what we're doing in the now, you can follow us on all social media platforms at The Golden Road with 2 G's. As we are spending our winter here in Delaware, preparing for our next big walk across America, we are about to choose our next nonprofit.
We love you guys. Until next time, we'll see you later.
Bye.